I'm just like you, you're just like me. We can't stop watching these movies. Is it a curse? No, it's a dream come true. Yes, I'm a Barbie girl like you.
Hey everybody, I'm Briana,
And I'm Kevin.
and you're listening to Barbie, the Princess and the Podcast, a chronological deep dive into the fever dream that is the Barbie cinematic universe.
And boy, is it a universe. There is a lot going on in there.
Ever expanding.
Yeah, they're expanding it like 3 times a year.
Yep.
They go hard.
I'm happy to see it.
Gives us a lot of content to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to run out.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There's several movies, several TV shows. We might go into some Barbie adjacent territory here and there. So I think we got a
Yeah,
lot
you
going
never
on.
know.
Yeah.
And how long have we been watching Barbie movies?
Oh man, how long has it been? I mean, the movie that we're going to talk about today came out in 2001, and
We probably
I
started
don't
watching
feel like
around
it
that
was.
time.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was too much longer than that. After that we got the VHS tape of that and started watching it. So my guess is between 2001 to 2003, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds about right.
So a little over 20 years.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And we've stuck with it. We've stuck with it. And
Yep.
we got a long history with Barbie. It started with getting those initial movies on VHS tapes and continued way longer after that. We had a tradition of getting each other the latest Barbie movie on DVD for each other's birthdays. And so we were able to amass a good portion of those movies up through maybe 2014 or 2015, just a stack of those DVDs. So we were ready when the new one came out. We were on it.
Yep. I still have all of them on a little shelf. They're ready to go.
But yeah, we watched those movies so many times. You would use it to fall asleep a lot. We
I
would
still do.
which what is that? I don't know what that says about the movies. If
Well,
they're sleep worthy.
yeah, some of them do put you to sleep for sure, but it's more that they were really comforting for
A,
me.
a cozy
Mm,
a cozy movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really have to pay attention because I've watched them a million times.
We've got it.
So
We've
I can
got it
just kind
set
of
down. One
like
yeah,
zonk.
yeah, one of the things we'll get into it more when we talk about the movie, the first Barbie movie, but I haven't seen it in years. But I hop back in and it all floods back. I remember so many of the scenes, despite the fact that it's been well over a decade since I've seen it. So they
Yeah,
have some
it's
staying
also
power.
familiar.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, because we watched Barbie Nutcracker and Rapunzel on
Yep.
VHS over and over and over. And I think those were the first two that
They
that
were.
we watched when we were little.
And they were the first
Um,
two.
yeah. And then my recollection is that we kind of like stopped watching as we were growing up. And then in junior high, one of my old friends and I were randomly hanging out. I think we were having a sleepover and trying to find something kind of stupid to watch. And we found Barbie Mermaidia.
A classic.
And we watched it and we made fun of it the whole time. And then my friend on my birthday, as a joke, gave me a copy of Barbie Mermaidia. And I think that's what kind of like set off it was like the resurrection of Barbie movies for us.
Yeah.
And I watched Barbie Mermaidia like probably like 60 times. Just that one I've probably seen the most. And then we branched out to the other Barbie movies, and that's when we started kind of collecting them um, as kind of like a sibling tradition because it was me and you, Kevin, and then our other sister Brittany who would watch them all the time. We would like stay up and have sleepovers and watch them together.
I didn't know the original story behind getting, or
Really?
maybe you told me a long time ago and I don't remember it, but I don't I don't remember that.
Oh my
I kind of
god, yeah,
remember that
that's
Mermaidia, we did have that DVD at some point, but I didn't know how you got it.
yeah. I mean, Barbie Nutcracker is the one that started it all, but Barbie Mermaidia is also the one that started it
It
all.
restarted it.
It restarted it exactly.
I mean, because with Nutcracker and with Rapunzel and having those on VHS, as a kid, it's kind of just the stuff that you watch.
Yeah.
Parents get you you have it, and so you kind of just watch it over and over because that's the stuff that you had. But then
Mhm.
once you got Mermaidia, we made an effort to continue watching it beyond that. That was an active choice we made. It wasn't
Yes,
just the things
yes.
that we had on the VHS shelf. We actively
Yeah.
we actively sought those out.
I think Dad is still very confused by our love of Barbie movies.
I don't know how you don't understand it. They're great films.
Yeah, yeah, classic.
Yeah. There are a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
memories with these movies, and through this podcast I'm really excited to go back and relive a lot of those, because like with Nutcracker and like with a lot of these other ones, I feel you can kind of split the Barbie movies up into a couple of different eras. They have kind of like the original set of movies, which are more based off of, fairy tales, folk tales, and all those sorts of things. And then you've got kind of like the middle section where they're starting to modernize. And then I feel like where we are now, everything's kind of tied together. Like the characters are all the same, whether it's the TV show and the movie, it's all kind of like interconnected and it's all the same characters. And I feel like I've stuck more to the latter two of those one
Mhm.
in recent years. So I haven't seen a lot of the original 10 to like 12 or 13 movies, the original Barbie movies. So I'm really excited to go back. I'm sure I'll remember all of it, but I haven't seen a lot of those movies in at least 8, 9 years.
Yeah, it'll be fun to kind of relive our childhood in that way. And
With a
there
fresh
are
set of
some,
eyes.
yeah, there are some movies that we remember way better than other ones. So it'll be fun to watch all of them.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be some movies that I watch. I'm like, I don't really remember that.
Like
Like
what?
with Nutcracker, I remembered a ton of it, but I'm sure that there's
Yeah.
going to be a couple where I watch it and I honestly don't. It doesn't bring back really strong memories because maybe that wasn't the one that we watched a lot. Kind of one that we watched
Yeah,
once, it was
like
fine, and then we moved on.
we moved on.
We moved on to
On to
the
bigger
better
and better
ones.
things.
Not all
Yeah,
Barbie
yeah.
movies aren't made equal.
That is so true, as you'll see from our tier list.
Yeah.
But so we want to talk about our current favorite Barbie movies. And I think I know which one is your favorite.
Okay. All
Uh,
right. So what's your guess? What do you have me pegged as for best Barbie movie?
I remember you saying this one
And it's
was
probably
your
it.
favorite. So I'm
Let's see
going to
if it
stick
is.
with that.
Okay.
Barbie, a fashion fairy tale.
That is correct. That is
Yes.
correct. That is my favorite Barbie movie. I won't go into it too much because we'll get to it eventually and we can talk about it there. But Ken is the GOAT in that movie. Ken
He
is
truly is.
absolutely incredible. And the cuts from Barbie's storyline to Ken's storyline is pretty incredible. And
Yeah.
I kind of just like the vibe of that movie. Not being in Malibu, they're in Paris. And I don't
Yeah.
know, kind of just the vibe of that and the vibe of the villains and the clothing and the the competition between them. I don't know. I just find it really
And
fun. And I
how could you
don't.
forget the Flaries?
Oh yeah, the Flaries are also there, and the talking animals don't chew up too much screen time.
Yeah.
They're they're there, but there's definitely worse implementations of the talking animal sidekick than there is in Fashion Fairy Tale.
Yeah, it's pretty tame compared to the other movies.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just got a fun atmosphere, and Ken's storyline is what is what sets it above for me. But I'm excited
Oh
to
yeah.
see if that opinion changes either by watching it
Hmm.
again or by watching some of these other ones. Maybe that'll change. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Now I got to pick yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going with one that you've made a point to watch every single year,
Oh.
and that is Barbie: A Perfect Christmas.
Oh, that is a top one for sure.
Okay, at least that was
Yeah,
close.
I that is yes, that is a yearly watch with the fam. It's very special, and we do like sing along to all the songs. So that one is a classic, a Christmas classic. I'd have to say my true favorite
Okay.
is a different one.
All right.
But that one is up there, so it was a good guess.
Okay. So what is your true favorite?
My favorite is Barbie the Diamond Castle.
Oh, it is. It still is.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you knew that one.
I knew that was up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's very special to me. My my friend Jackie and I used to watch that one together all the time, and we would sing the songs together, especially the song Connected. It was
It's a
very
good song.
relevant because yeah, and we were like far apart. She was in New York, I was over here in Seattle, and so we would sing the song Connected to stay connected. Very special, and also it's just like super gay, and I love that. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
won't go in I won't go into too many spoilers, but I'll just say the main characters are definitely like cottagecore lesbians, and we love that for them.
Great movie.
Yeah, that one is on the top for me, but like you said, we never know what will happen as we watch back through. Maybe I'll find a new favorite.
Yeah. We'll see.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then as for how this podcast is going to be set up, it's going to be a monthly podcast. We're going to be launching a new episode every month at the start of the month on the first Monday. So you can look forward to it then. And we'll be going through the Barbie movies in chronological order with some detours for Barbie adjacent material that is also incredible and is worth a spot, worth an episode on the show. So we won't spoil what those are now, but there'll be one coming relatively soon, within a
Hmm.
couple of months, I think.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we got a lot of content to cover, and it's not going to be just the TV show, the movies. We have the TV shows as well. So once we get to those, we'll be covering the TV shows as well.
Yep.
So why don't we hop right into the very first movie in the Barbie cinematic universe, and that is Barbie in the Nutcracker.
I'm so ready.
So I'll start off with the fact that this movie has full opening credits, and that makes it feel more like a real movie than some of these other ones.
They went all out.
Yeah, well, so you have that, and then at the end of the movie, they have credits for like choreographers. Like they had
They
like
had like the
professional
ballet
dance,
dancers.
yeah, like people who are professional dancers to watch over this movie and give them pointers. And I don't know, like it feels a lot more legitimate in that way than some of these later ones where it kind of feels like they
Hmm.
picked a like elongated one of the TV show episodes and then just turned it into a
Uh-huh.
movie. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was a different feel Just like hopping right
Uh-huh.
in, you get the opening credits. Like, okay, this is something different.
Right, and the music was performed by the London Symphony Orchestra, which seems like a big deal. Not that
Yeah,
I
how'd
know
they get them
music
to do
that
that?
well, but yeah,
You guys want
and
to do a
they
Barbie
got
movie? And they're like, yeah, I'm in.
hell yeah. Yeah, and they got Tim
They
Curry to
did
be
get
the
Tim Curry.
villain.
And
Like,
spoilers for a later film, they got Tim Curry to come back for a second
yeah,
movie. So not a second
incredible.
Nutcracker movie, but a second Barbie movie.
Yeah, in my head though, he's like the villain in so many of the movies, but he's not.
He's only in two of them. I was surprised too.
I know. It's so sad. I mean, it's amazing. At least we got him for 2,
Yeah,
but man, I wish he had been in more of them.
he's a legend. They definitely got in these first couple of movies some higher profile actors to play some of these roles.
They did. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool that they were able to land some bigger name actors.
I guess because it was just a new thing. Like I don't.
Mhm.
You wonder how big of a deal it is, but Barbie's first
Yeah.
movie, like, I don't know, Barbie is a very well-known
Ooh,
property, and so her first movie film,
true.
kind of a big deal. And then maybe after the eighth or ninth movie, it kind of started to get a little old. Like, hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
like,
need to
yeah.
do that again. And then they started pumping out 2 or 3 a year, and maybe they just didn't have the bandwidth. But these
Uh-huh.
early ones, yeah, they got several
Yeah,
pretty
Tim
big
Curry's like,
people.
"I gotta get in on this.
I'm there. Yeah, ground floor, first movie. I'm in.
This is
I'm
gonna
in.
be big." My best role. You know, that's the I think the first time I ever that was my first introduction to Tim Curry, I think.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know. I mean,
like
for most kids, if it wasn't Barbie, it was probably the Wild Thornberries, but we didn't really have cable
oh,
growing up,
hell
so
yeah.
so we
Incredible.
didn't we didn't really get the chance to watch the Wild Thornberries growing up. So Barbie was our intro.
Yeah, yeah. But, like, I remember, friends talking about, like, "Oh, yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Tim Curry, amazing." And I'll be like, "Yeah, oh, yeah, the guy from, Barbie and the Nutcracker?
Mouse Mouse King?
The Mouse King? Yeah, yeah, he's great." I loved him in Barbie and the Nutcracker.
You think he'd remember that? Like
I
if
hope
you went up to
so.
Tim Curry and he's like, "Man, I love your movies. My favorite was Barbie and the Nutcracker. Your performance as the Mouse King was life changing. I want to thank you."
Yeah. Yeah, can you please autograph,
Our
my
DVD
book as the yeah, autograph the DVD as the Mouse King,
as the
please.
Mouse King.
Yeah. He's really good in it,
He
though.
is. I
Like,
think
he
Tim Curry
steals
is
the
good
show.
in whatever he's in.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Tim
It's
Curry's
so
pretty good in
true.
anything, but yeah, he was good in this.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that there was a couple things at play that lent this movie a lot more legitimacy as a real movie, which at this point in Barbie, I'm not used to that because it is. They make a lot of the movies, and I
Yeah.
don't know, like I love watching them, but they just get dumped on Netflix, and then and then they're there, and then you get to watch them. So it was just a different feeling with this one.
Yeah, yeah, it's more, like, classic and, just like, "Oh, this is something new," and I guess, new and classic at the same time, but, um yeah, there was more legitimacy to it, instead of them just kind of, like, churning out movies.
After all of the Barbie movies that we've seen, now going back to the fairy tale type of movies, how do you feel about those in comparison to the newer ones where they have their own like dedicated storylines? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
we could
the
talk about it more as we watch more of them, but in this case, I mean, Nutcracker is a very well known property.
oh, yeah.
So
I think I saw Barbie Nutcracker before I actually, like, saw the ballet. So again, my first introduction to the Nutcracker.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's a very classic feel. I love the Barbie kind of like cast as these fairy tale characters. It's very fun. It's kind of the whole setup is kind of meta because we have Barbie at the beginning as Barbie.
Yeah.
In this one, she's like teaching Kelly how to dance, how to do ballet.
Yeah.
Also, it has Kelly, who is later replaced by Chelsea. So I don't
Kelly,
know what happened there.
she's dead. She was removed.
Yeah, she was
We
done
don't talk
away
about
with.
her. She's yeah,
Yeah,
don't bring her
don't
up
talk about
anymore.
Kelly.
She was I mean
Yeah.
look, she just wasn't good enough in the ballet,
Yeah,
it's on
she
the cutting
fucked
block.
up.
She's
Mhm.
out.
Sorry. When she stumbled that one time, it was like,
Yeah.
dunzo.
I can't do it, Barbie. All right, get out.
Let's bring in Chelsea.
Yeah, they waited a little while before
Uh,
bringing Chelsea in.
yeah. They kept Kelly for a bit, but she couldn't keep up.
I did think the whole like meta thing is funny, and that we have the start where it's Barbie as Barbie in this world, and then we go into
Yeah.
the Nutcracker story where she's a different character in this world, and then she becomes a third character, like a like triple meta, because she goes into the Nutcracker world. And so it's just like
Yeah, I
we're
didn't even
like
think about
3
that.
levels in on this. I'm telling a story
Dang.
about a character who's having a story beyond their own world, and
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like
thought that was funny.
Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah. OG Inception.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's really fun, and they keep that formula going for the first few movies. Um and then they start branching out.
And you run out at a certain point of the
Yeah, like
of the fairy tales, and then you got to make up your own stories.
mhm. Which is when Diamond Castle came in, and it's wild.
Yeah, they had new ideas.
Yeah.
Hopping into the very first couple of shots of the movie, the animation. I know that the
Oh.
movie is over 20 years old now, and I'm in some ways I'm kind of surprised at how well some of it holds up. I think when you get into the Nutcracker world and their idea to use kind of just like a painting as a backdrop of the
Yeah.
world, I think was a much better decision than trying to like computer generate that world from afar. So
Totally. Yeah, it was a
stuff
good
like
call.
that I think ages well, but the characters and how they move, it kind of feels like
Mhm.
they're T-posing a little bit. Like they're
Yeah.
like their arm, like their hands and the lower arms can move okay, but I feel like from their shoulders to their elbows is incredibly stiff as they're walking around kind of like robots.
Well, they are modeled after dolls, so maybe
It
it's
is true,
intentional.
but they
I
don't
don't think it's
look like
intentional.
dolls. They look
Yeah.
like dolls, maybe
Barbie
you'd
does
get
a
away with
little,
it.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think that
Yeah,
kind of
they're
stuck out to
very
me. Character
jerky.
motion was just like,
Yeah,
but
and did you see
it's
like
to be
the
expected.
NPCs in the background in one of the shots or a few of the shots? The
Oh, I didn't.
NPCs. Oh my god, they're wild.
For example, like,
I don't know. There's like I mean it's a lot of the same model used over and
oh yeah,
over. Um
that'll be something that we'll talk about later. But there have been instances, I think, where main villain character
oh,
like
yes.
bodies got put in as just an extra character in a later movie. Like they don't
You're like,
expect
"Wait,
me.
that's
Yeah, it's like they don't expect me to be watching more than one Barbie movie. So then I see
Yeah.
this one, like, wait a minute, you're the main villain in this. What do you what?
Hmm.
So I mean,
Hmm.
in the first movie, they're already doing it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think they'll reuse like NPCs. Like I think you'll see NPCs from Barbie the Nutcracker in Rapunzel and in a lot of the
Yeah.
early ones. They just kind of like recycle them.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, some of them look a little freaky. Like there was this
I need.
old
Wow. It,
there's this old man with a beard, and I don't
okay.
know, he like he scared me.
What was wrong with him?
I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, is it kind of like a deal of is he in the background, so he's kind of like low poly, so he's like low detail, and it just like he looks
Yeah,
off,
and
or
he didn't look all right. He didn't look well.
was was his like eyes or mouth in the wrong spot, or
No, he kind of just looked like he was at death's door, and I was
I
worried about
mean,
him.
We don't know what happened to him after
No.
Nutcracker.
I mean, I think he got turned to stone at one point, but
A lot of them got turned to stone. Yeah.
I think most of them did. But I hope he's okay.
Well, it's been 22 years
He's
since
probably
then, so
gone.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how
Rip.
he's doing. Rip old man with beard.
Yeah. Speaking
I'm
of facial hair, sorry. Some of the characters had amazing facial hair. Like the Clara's uncle at the beginning had
what
these mutton chops.
Drosselmeyer.
Yeah, Drosselmeyer. These amazing mutton chops. And then the Major Mint.
I love Major Mint. He's incredible.
Me too. He's like one of my favorite characters. He had this like, I don't know,
That is it. The
mustache
handlebar
thing.
mustache.
Yeah, but it like connected with
Oh
his hair.
yeah.
It was
Like it grew
incredible.
so long that it just like intertwined with his hair.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a word for that kind of facial hair, but I can't think of it.
Major Mint
But yeah.
hairstyle.
Yeah, A+ facial hair. Yeah, so do we want to, I guess, go through the,
Let's go
I
through
don't know.
the opening bit of
Yeah,
her in the room. So yeah, Drosselmeyer comes in and he is walking like a robot,
of
coming in
course.
with those arms. So
Uh-huh.
in with every movie, we're going to tag ourselves as a character, and my tag comes in very
Mhm.
early, and that
Oh my
is
God, so does
that is.
mine.
Is it Tommy?
Oh no, it can't be the same
Okay,
tag.
is it Tommy?
No, it's not Tommy.
Okay, so Tommy is my tag as he is
Hell
eating
yeah.
cookies behind the couch as a gremlin. Just
Oh my God, Kevin, we have a really similar tag, but it's not the same one. But you're so Tommy because you're the little brother. It's perfect.
yeah. And I was also,
And you're
a
so
little
annoying.
piece of shit. Yeah, the
Oh
things that
yeah.
Tommy does at the start of that movie. So I mean, he's just your run of the mill gremlin at the start, just like munching on the cookies
Hmm.
behind the couch. But then later on, he, when she gets the Nutcracker, he just like grabs it immediately, rips it off, and then he's just like, "Oh, oops."
It's just like you when you were little, Kevin. You fucked up some of our dolls. You would totally rip an arm off a Nutcracker.
Yeah. So my tag in this movie is Tommy.
Yeah, he's so annoying too. He's like, you can't tell me what to do.
Wow, a grenadier guard and a Bengal lancer. Thanks.
Thanks.
I don't even know. What is a grenadier guard and a Bengal lancer.
Well, Kevin,
I didn't look it up
the
because I'm Tommy
the
and I'm not
Grenadier
supposed to know what
Guard,
that is.
the
I'm
Grenadier
stupid.
Guard is Major Mint, and the Bengal Lancer is Captain Candy.
Whoa, I did not pick up on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool, right?
Wow.
They really thought it out.
Wow. I'm surprised one of them hadn't lost a leg.
Yeah, seriously. Tommy is a destructive force.
Tommy is a something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's my tag.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good tag.
Also the line when he breaks the doll and she's like, "You're impossible," is a pretty great line. Like
yeah,
she really had to think about that one, and she tried to hold back. She was, "You're a fucking piece of shit and I hate you," but that wouldn't fly.
That's what she
so
wanted
she was
to
just
say.
Like, "You're impossible."
Yeah. It's the nicest.
It's a very, very good line.
Yeah, that one always sticks out to me. Also, I want to say her Aunt Drosselmeyer is an icon.
She's great. Talking about all her stories and everything she's up to.
She's a globetrotter, a trendsetter. She's like, yeah, she's Barbie's idol or Clara's idol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to tag myself as her, but I'm not. I'm not cool enough.
Yeah.
So my tag is coming up. It's after Clara goes to sleep. with the Nutcracker. Also, like, she's already in love with this
Oh
Nutcracker,
yeah.
like,
Oh, she
fully.
she is really good at like stitching stuff. She makes like a tiny cast, like a little like
Yeah, a little
sling for his
sling.
arm, like
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
immediately. That was impressive.
Yeah, and then she, like, falls asleep with him in her arms. It's just like,
Yeah.
dude.
I don't know what was up with that.
Like,
Also,
yeah.
I I I understand kind of, but I thought it was kind of funny when Drosselmeyer rolls in and he's like, we got to wake her up, and then the aunt's like, oh no, let her sleep, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to bed. I was like, like why are we gonna wake her
Bye.
up? Like, why are we gonna wake her up to be like, oh, wake up,
If
Barbie,
you're
go to bed? Like,
I guess he
I
wanted her to
get it as
sleep in her own bed.
yeah, but I don't know. Like, just let her sleep there. I don't know. I just thought it was funny that immediately after he's like, "Yeah, all right, I'm going to bed."
Okay, bye. A little later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Also,
right. So she.
Nutcracker
Oh,
seems kind of like a weird gift for a teen girl,
yeah. I mean,
but she's into it.
I guess this is back in the olden days. So I don't
Yeah,
know, like a
kids
different
were fine with
doll.
anything. It's better than like
She
a
did not get the
rock or
Grenadier Guard and the Bengal Lancer. She got the
yeah.
Nutcracker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what is she supposed to do with it though? To, like, crack nuts?
I either that or display it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
make a sling for it and sleep with it.
Sleep with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she falls asleep, and then the magic happens.
Yep.
So, like, there's a little mouse hole in the wall, and all these like golden sparkles start coming in.
Yep.
And then blue sparkles, and I'm not sure if the golden sparkles are supposed to be like good, and the blue sparkles are evil. I don't really get
They
it,
just
but
wanted the two-tone sparkle color.
maybe, yeah. And so then the evil mice start appearing, like the mouse soldiers. Um, and they come in and they just start fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Like, they're not fighting anything. They just come in and just like break shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Were they specifically looking for I can't remember if the Mouse King was surprised when the Nutcracker was there or if he like knew he was there and he was going after him.
oh, it would make sense if he was looking for the Nutcracker, because why else would they come in?
Yeah. And also
Unless
like
they're trying to take over.
well, and then the question is how is that mouse door activated? Like, can the Nutcracker activate it? Because if he can't,
Oh.
then the Mouse King has absolutely no reason to be coming through this door and messing
Yeah.
stuff up. Because
Well,
if
I
the
think
Nutcracker
that
is just stuck here, then he can't come back in.
right, you'd think the Mouse King would be fine with that, having the Nutcracker just stuck in this other dimension.
Yeah,
But
because the Mouse King does have all the magic. He has the magic
yeah,
scepter, and I
it's that
don't.
OP
I
scepter.
yeah, really. Like, honestly, I don't know how he doesn't just win automatically with that thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't think the Nutcracker has magical capabilities per se. Does he? I mean, probably to an extent, like it just in
No.
terms of like, oh, strength or whatever. But like in terms of actually being able to like use full on magic, I don't think he can. So yeah,
No, I
I'm
don't
not
think
quite
so.
sure why they came through that door. I really
Maybe it had something to do with the owl. The owl on the top of the
oh
grandfather clock.
yeah, yeah.
Because the owl had this like little glint in its eye, and then the magic started happening. And the
Hmm.
owl seems to know things that
I mean, the
I don't know
owl.
how the owl knows this.
Well, yeah, the owl told them to go and find the Sugar Plum Princess, and they did know
Yeah,
stuff. Like I
how
don't
does
know.
the owl know?
I don't know. There's as we move along, there are definitely some questions that are left unanswered as we go
Yeah,
through this.
so a
Yeah,
few
so
plot holes.
I'm not 100% sure why they rolled in there. I mean, I'm at the very least assuming that he's there for the Nutcracker. I'm just not 100% sure why he has to do that instead of and did he send them there? right? Like the Nutcracker ended up in this other world, and
Yeah.
the Mouse King has the ability to transport people to different locations. So you would assume that he knew where he sent the Nutcracker.
You would think.
Maybe I'm thinking too hard about that.
We
Anyways,
we're probably reading too far into this, and maybe the actual Nutcracker ballet would answer some of our questions. I don't know.
yeah, but this is
Or
the
maybe it
true
would just add
Nutcracker.
more.
I
Yeah,
I
I know. This
I
is
I think this is the original work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Okay, so anyway, one of the rat soldiers at one point steals some gingerbread and is snacking on it behind the couch or
Yeah.
on top of the couch, and that's
Oh yeah,
me.
yeah. They and then Barbie like knocks him off of
Yeah, and he's like,
the couch.
"Wow!"
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that one's me. So we're both
we're
just like
both
gnawing
munching
on the
on stuff
gingerbread.
next to or behind the couch.
Yep, yep, and we're both annoying to Barbie.
I do love the mouse soldiers. Like they have a
Yeah,
lot
they're
of
great.
character, despite the fact that they all look pretty similar.
Yeah, I mean, they're all the same model.
And to cut corners somewhere, Tim Curry took up a lot of the budget. Speaking of
Yes,
Tim
so
Curry,
true.
he makes his first appearance here.
Oh, yes, he emerges growling out of the
He
little hole.
emerges growling, and at one point, he is about to axe murder the Nutcracker.
Oh,
He has
yeah,
created that
fully.
axe. He is standing on it and is about to just drive the axe straight through him and just take him out.
Yeah, we almost witnessed a murder.
Yeah, he's pretty ruthless,
Yeah, yeah.
but also not very bright. So
No.
one, that scepter can do apparently basically anything.
Oh, yeah, it can, like,
Um,
transform into whatever he wants it to be, and
yeah, and
then he
so
can do magic with it.
he makes Barbie small, and
Mhm.
while he is casting the spell, Barbie is just standing there with the pan or whatever. She can hit him at any time, but
Yeah.
she just stands there, and then she gets small. So
Yeah, so Barbie's not the brightest either.
yeah, and then later on when they're going through this fight, he creates kind of like a bow and arrow to shoot at the
Oh,
Nutcracker to
yeah, the
try and take him out,
crossbow.
and misses. There were so many other times he could have used that. Like there were times when Nutcracker is over here fighting 5 or 6 dudes, and it is very well documented in this movie that the Mouse King gives absolutely no shit about any of his men. He will kill
Oh,
any
yeah,
of them. So
ruthless.
yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't just go for the shot when Nutcracker was busy, but maybe he wanted to get up and close and feel the splinters as he drove the axe through Nutcracker's head. I don't know.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he just has, like, too many choices for what
Yeah.
his scepter could do.
Yeah, when he's not on screen, he's just looking at it like,
What do I
what
do next?
I can do anything with this. What should I do?
How could I possibly choose? I mean, I could see that. I would get, like, paralyzed by all the choices.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know.
Choice paralysis. I'm having a
Yeah,
hard enough time
exactly.
deciding on a movie on Netflix. I can't imagine if I have like all of the power in this scepter and I don't know what to pick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's relatable.
Yeah. Mouse King's just like all of us.
Yeah. Maybe I should have tagged myself as the Mouse King.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Tim Curry's like voice acting in this. Every line he says is just iconic.
Yeah.
Like at one point he goes like, "You've got nowhere to run, Nutcracker."
Yeah, the way he says certain things is
Yeah.
just full on Tim Curry, and it's so
Yeah,
good.
it's so good.
He's so good at
Uh-huh.
playing the villain.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, I love how he just gets taken out by a shoe.
Yeah.
And he makes this really weird noise too when he's falling.
Oh, did he?
He's just like, "Ugh."
Yeah, he got a little stomp there.
Yeah, rip. Oh, and then at one point, um, Clara and the Nutcracker, I think it's when she's small and the
Yeah,
same size as him. They
right.
both fall and they
Oh,
land on
yeah,
what looks like a
yeah.
slab of
I was
meat.
gonna say the same thing. It also looks like the slab of meat.
Like,
I could,
what is that?
yeah, I tried. I went back and rewatched it a couple of times, and
Enhance.
since it's an older movie, it doesn't look. It's not in HD. It's not Blu-ray
No,
quality.
far from it.
But that was on the floor, right?
Who left a slab of meat on the floor?
Yeah,
You know, my best guess is that it's a fruitcake, but it doesn't look like a
yeah.
fruitcake.
Yeah, my note was, did they land on a slab of meat on the ground?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I said too. I like they land on what looks like a slab of meat. That's really what it looks
and
like.
and when they landed on it, it makes like a wet sound, like
Yeah.
not like how a cake would, of like a springiness. It was like
No.
like onto something like kind of moist and like wet a little bit.
Yeah, it's nasty.
How long has that meat been left out?
Oh, I don't. Maybe Tommy left it out.
Is
Tommy
Tommy
little
just like
shit.
gnawing on like a piece of a piece of meat behind the couch?
Tommy, what's wrong with you?
Well, I'm glad we both thought that, because I thought I was losing my mind when I saw the
Yeah.
meat. It's like, what is that?
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know what they intended it to be, but whatever it is, it
Uh,
doesn't look like
you
that.
know, they survived the fall by a piece of meat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad it was there.
yeah, so they get saved by this slab of meat, and the Rat King gets defeated, and he has to retreat through the thing. I don't know why he
Yeah.
can't just use the scepter again to make himself better, but so
Oh,
we
true. I wonder if it's a healing scepter too. We don't
he's
see its healing
invincible.
capabilities.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Um, so then we get to the owl, right? And the owl is this all-knowing owl who knows what to do, and it flies down, and so they think it's impossible. It's like, oh, I don't think we can get back. Like, Nutcracker's like, how are we going to get back into this other world? It's impossible. And then the owl flies down and basically says, no, it's not impossible. And then Nutcracker just walks away. Like, he does not ask for the owl to elaborate
He's just
how
like,
it's
"Oh, okay."
possible to get back into the world. Like,
Oh, I didn't
it comes
notice that.
it comes up later. Like, they I don't know if it's Barbie, or I can't remember if it's Barbie who asked a question, or if the owl just keeps on talking. But yeah, there's a point where the owl is just like, no, it's not impossible. And then Nutcracker just turns around and starts walking away.
He's like, "Sweet.
Like,
All right, let's do
yeah,
this."
he's like, oh, it's not impossible. All right, I know what to do. I know how to get in there now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so you just had to
Hold
be
up,
told that
buddy.
it wasn't impossible, and now you're fine. Like, okay.
Yeah. All you gotta do is believe.
Yeah, yeah. So that happens, and then this
Okay.
owl tells him to go and find the Sugar Plum Princess.
Yeah. Well, wise owl, and it gives Claire a little necklace too.
Oh yeah, to get back to the world. Like, when you
Yeah,
find
that's
the
right.
Sugar Plum Princess, use this. You find the Sugar Plum Princess, and then you're able to return to this world, and you will be big when you come back to this world.
I think it's implied. I don't know.
So like, the other world is connected to that world, and that if she solves this world's problems, then she'll be big, because she can't
Yep.
grow big in the other world. But if she returns
Unless you use the scepter.
and yeah, unless she just nabs the scepter from Mouse King and just brings it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess she solves the problem, and then it automatically she is big afterwards.
Yeah, returns her to her world and her former state.
Yeah. But theoretically, she could use it to return to the world, but still be small. Like, she has a
Yeah.
couple of moments throughout the movie where she's like, oh, do I just go back? And
Yeah.
yeah. So they get that, and then they just have to go through the portal into the other world.
Yeah, they go through this like psychedelic wormhole into the other
Yeah.
world.
And then they get to this snow cave, and Nutcracker goes, I think we made a wrong turn. I'm like, Where?
Like, where were you supposed to go?
And you act like you know where you went wrong, but I'm having a hard time figuring out where a turn could possibly be in there.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they had any control about where they were going. So,
Yeah, and the other question, how did they get there in the first place? Was it the Mouse King? Because there's no way that they go up through this ice cave, like climbing up this slide to get to this point that they can, jump off. And I guess there's multiple portals around the world.
yeah, maybe it spits them out in different places. I don't know. I
If you
don't
make
know.
the
I
right
think we're
turn or the
thinking
wrong turn.
we're thinking too deeply about this again.
Yeah, and then they get to this cave and they're having to find a way out. And
Yep.
then these fairies come in and we get kind of our first. I mean, I guess you get a little bit of the ballet at the start, but this is kind of our first of a couple like dance, like Nutcracker ballet dancing scenes.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, something that always bothered me about this scene as a kid and still now is that all the fairies look the same. So they're all the same model. They're all these kind of like blue ice fairies and they look exactly the same except for the little kid fairy who's basically
Oh
Kelly's
yeah,
model.
that is true.
Yeah,
Because
and she
there
looks
is one
totally
different
different.
one. Yeah, because she's got a huge head.
Yeah, huge head. She's, she's more like pink and yeah, with the blonde hair, like she looks totally different. She's like chunky and then all the other fairies are like skinny little blue things with all the same like hair and they're all
Yeah,
the same model. And as a kid I was just like, why does she look different? Like why do
is
they all look the same?
yeah is Kelly the leader of all of them?
But she's like a kid, like she's the
Yeah,
baby.
but she's the only one that's different. Just
So does she
is she?
grow up to look like the
Yeah.
blue
Do they
fairies?
do they all start out looking like Kelly does, and then they turn into the exact same adult
Yeah,
version?
which is weird. But then why aren't there more kid fairies? She's the only child fairy?
Only one at a time. When one dies,
Yeah.
a new one spawns. I don't know.
God.
I also don't know how they die.
Yeah, me either. Hmm.
But yeah,
The
they
implications.
yeah. So we get the dance scene, and then they go through the dance, and they're trying to push Clara and Nutcracker together as they do throughout a lot of this movie.
Oh God, yes.
And
There's
then
matchmaking.
yeah, and then the problem kind of just solves itself. Like they don't have to do anything. Like they just have to do the dance and then the door opens up. Like if the fairies
Yeah.
didn't show up, they just would have been screwed.
Oh yeah, yeah. The fairies blast the door open, or
Yeah.
the like a hole in the
Yeah, cuz they're
ice.
they're encased in this ice cave.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was yeah, they you just got to wait for the fairies to show up. And then when they show up,
Mm-hmm,
just do the
mm-hmm.
dance and then boom, you're out.
Yeah. Well, the dance was to thank Clara for fixing the little baby fairy's wing because it got bent, I think.
Oh, so then if she doesn't fix the wing, they die in there.
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't let them out. The fairies
Okay.
would just be like, rot in here. Yeah, they only let them out because Clara fixes the little fairy's wing.
Yeah. I was wondering while they were in there why they weren't cold at all, and then like got my question answered and caused another question of so they
Oh.
get out and they're like, "Oh, yes, the snow's not even cold. Like it's all warm out
Oh.
here." It's like, "So how does the other biome form?" Like
uh,
what's the
yeah.
difference between the snow world and the grass
Whoa.
world?
What if snow is made out of sugar? What if the snow is actually just
Ooh.
sugar? Because this
Yeah.
is like a candy
That
world.
yeah, it kind of is. That could be it. Like,
Maybe I have solved it.
yeah, could be. And it just wasn't answered. Yeah,
Mm,
that yeah, I mean cuz
I've done it.
you can harden sugar together and create this
Hmm,
cave.
hmm.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
we've
calling
solved
it. That's
that.
what it is. All
Yeah.
our questions are being answered.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them, but we'll answer what we can.
Yeah. So then we get that first shot of the world, and this is when you kind of see the painting backdrop of
Yeah.
the world, and I think that was the way to go, because there will be later scenes where you get kind of like the backdrops and it's very like bland, bare bones CG in the background. But
Yeah.
I think the painting is a nice touch, being able to see kind of the whole world out there from the cave exit.
Yeah, it did look nice. Good job.
So yeah, thanks. So
Okay.
this is when we get to the village and the kids, right? And
Well,
or
I think there's a scene
because they're like walking
with
through the
with
forest.
the
Oh,
mouse. There's a scene with the Mouse King
we do get a
before
yes.
because I want to talk about my least favorite character.
Yeah.
I think you know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this bat.
Him.
Yeah. Yeah, Pimm. He's the worst.
What is his accent?
Oh, I don't know, but I hate it. Like it's like this whiny sort of English accent. It's like this weird whiny Cockney
Yeah.
bullshit. Like
In every
fire.
Barbie, yeah. Well, you know, I couldn't follow them. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
He's like a shittier Bartok from Anastasia. The bat from Anastasia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
actually like Bartok. I
yeah,
don't like Pimm.
I don't know why most Barbie movies have to have some form of like some level of insufferable of an animal sidekick. Like
It's required.
it's in most of these movies.
Yeah. Like I hate his voice. I hate the way I hate the way his body looks. Like
Yeah,
his
he
proportions are really messed
yeah,
up.
he's a pretty disgusting looking bat.
I hate everything about him.
Now, it does make it more satisfying when Mouse King gets really like angry at him and starts throwing
Yeah,
stuff at him,
true, true.
and threatens to, turn him into stone, and
I
it's like,
know. I
"Yeah,
wish he
please
turned him
do
into
it."
stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. So I don't have to look at him anymore or
Yeah.
hear him.
Yeah. He
Um,
is super whiny, because the initial scene with him is him groveling to Mouse King for food.
yeah.
He's like,
I do love
I can't tell you until you give me the fruit.
I do love though how he just absolutely demolishes that plate of
He
fruit.
does. Yeah, it's gone instantly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That is impressive.
Yeah.
But that's the only good thing I'll say about him.
And he makes many more appearances in the
I
movie.
know, it's bad. Also, did you know that his full name is Pimple?
What?
Pim is short for pimple.
Wait. Where is this? What?
It's
Where did
very late in the movie. I made a note about it.
what?
Um
I did not catch that.
Dude, I
What?
never caught it until this time because I watched the movie with subtitles this time.
I did as well. I guess
Oh,
it
at
didn't
one point,
register.
yeah, at one point the Mouse King addresses him as Pimple. So I'm like, "Oh, Pim is
What?
short for pimple." Which makes sense because he is like a little pimple. I suck. I hate him so much. But yeah, that's that's his full name apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, now you know.
Wow. I'm trying to find it on his like character page.
I'm sure like
It,
he is listed as Pim,
he is definitely listed as Pimm.
but Mouse King at one point says pimple to him. So, I don't know why else he would call him that unless he's
Wow.
just insulting him.
It could be that. Yeah. It could be.
But
Um
I want to believe it's his full name.
yeah. Yeah, it fits. I mean, even if it was just a burn from the Mouse King, it was a pretty good burn.
Yeah, got him.
He kind of just he does look like a living pimple a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
we
that
can
scene,
move on now.
did we
Oh.
get the introduction of him turning the dudes to stone, or is that later?
Oh yeah, I think that was in that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
with the power that he has with the scepter, why doesn't he turn them into like? Couldn't you turn them into like stronger henchmen or something?
Yeah, or make Pimm less annoying.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, because he turns them into stone. He's like, oh, how are we doing on the lawn ornaments? It's like, oh no, we're
Yeah.
full on those, and it's like, oh, figures or whatever. It's like, oh no, we're good on those too, and so he has to make them into bookends. Just like,
Yeah,
really,
also
you can't.
I want those
They're
bookends.
pretty good bookends. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would so use
You
those.
think they're conscious when they're rocks?
Yeah,
Yeah, for more pain.
it's more horrific that way.
Yeah, having to hold up books, stone. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
man, that
stone.
suck.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
And then at a later point, he turns Rock into a bigger like rock
rock.
henchman. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay. We're just gonna we seemingly
So
have an endless supply of a mouse henchmen that we can make more of these
I
stone dudes.
guess. So he like couldn't he turn them into whatever? Or does he have to
Technically,
turn them into something rock related or
I don't
stone?
know. Maybe that's the only chant that he knows. Cause
But
because
he
when
could like
when
we know he could make them bigger because he makes
yeah.
himself bigger at one
But
point.
then if you make them bigger, do they just stomp him and then take over?
Oh, then he'd have to make himself bigger.
It's just yeah. Yeah, so
Okay,
he
I
makes
see.
himself massive and then makes his henchmen like slightly bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we
Um,
get that initial shot of that, and
mhm.
yeah, Mouse King. I like. Yeah, very very short temper, but works with Tim Curry because then
Yeah.
he gets a lot
Yeah.
of chances to be mad.
Yes. And so he sends Pym off to spy on the Nutcracker and Clara.
Yeah,
Um,
and Pim has some sort of GPS tracker on them
he
because
does. He always knows.
he knows every single time where they are, and
Oh,
it
how does
gets
he do
more and
it?
more like less and less plausible as the movie goes on as to how
Oh
he
yeah,
knows where they are. I don't know how he
totally.
does
He'll
it.
just show up where they are. Like what?
Echolocation of the
How?
bats, like he's bouncing it off of their like
Oh,
the sound of them talking or
maybe.
something. Yeah, he's smart somehow.
Yeah, I hate him, but he is a good tracker.
He does his job, you know.
Yeah. I know why the Mouse King keeps him around.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he
Okay.
goes out to spy him, and then we get the shot of the village as they
Yeah,
go
now we're
into
at the
this
Candy Village.
not torch, but like destroyed village, and
Mhm.
just the two kids that were left because they went out for a walk, and when they came back, everybody was gone. So this is a very very recent thing that happened in the
Yeah.
last day. Um,
Yeah. Do you think everyone in the village is dead?
yeah, I don't know why that happened exactly. Because later on in the movie, they're trying to stage like a rebellion, and that's why he's like, "Oh, round up all the people." But
Yeah.
yeah,
So he
I
didn't
don't.
kill him.
He probably just turned him to stone. That seems to be what he
Probably.
does with most people.
Okay. And so we get a great introduction to another animal sidekick who's more subtle,
Yeah,
subdued. The horse, Marzipan.
marzipan is that? Yep.
Yeah, we love Marzipan. The pink horse with mascara, like a
A
full
law
face of makeup.
starting the tradition of makeup on the animals. Because
Yep.
in Barbie's
And
world, they
they're
still do animal testing on makeup.
clearly. She looks fabulous though.
Looking good. Yeah, cleans up pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. There's this great moment when Clara walks over to Marzipan and just kind of like hover hands her mane. She's just like clearly not actually petting her. It's just kind of hover handing.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, we see the kids. I love the kids' little candy outfits. They're very
They're
cute.
super cute. Yeah.
Um, one of them's dressed like a gingerbread. And then the other one, oh yeah, gingerbread man. And then the other one is kind of, I don't know, is she like a little peppermint candy? She's got the
Yeah.
little, she's pink and white
Yeah.
ensemble.
Yeah. Their
Very
outfits are
cute.
really cute. Yeah.
Yeah, and the boy has the classic bowl cut.
Yep. It's a look.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I love it.
Yeah. So then they take him along. Take him along on the adventure. All they had to do was be like, "Hey, is this doll yours?" And then instant friends.
Yeah, yeah. That's all it takes.
And then as soon as they find those kids and they get, they go with Marzipan, immediately Pimm finds them again. And the guys are
Oh
already there. And Marzipan is getting attacked like immediately.
my
Marzipan kind of
god.
gets shafted a couple of times in this movie. So
Okay,
in this
I do have a theory about marzipan, but I'll talk about
okay.
it later.
Yeah. So yeah, so the the Mouse King's army is kind of like coming through. They even see the shot of them like carrying away the stuff from the village, so it was very recent. And then
Oh
immediately
yeah, that's
after
right.
that, they're like attacking Marzipan, and then Marzipan runs off, and so they kind of run into the forest, and they're able to kind of get rescued by some people who are up in the trees. But
Oh yeah,
the
they go
I
into
think
this dope treehouse.
yeah, and the kids ask about Marzipan, I think, and then Barbie or Claire is just like, "Oh, Marzipan will be fine." Like,
Like, how do you know?
how do you know that? You know Marzipan for like 2 seconds,
They
and
have this
Marzipan was being
bond.
attacked by the Mouse King's army, but we're
She's
just assuming Marzipan's fine and she'll catch up. She knows
yeah,
where we
yeah,
are.
she's good.
She'll get here.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, um, yeah. So they hoodwink the men by being able to be pulled up into this tree fort, and then we get one of the best characters in this
hmm
movie, and that would be Major
Talking
Mint.
about
He
Major
chews up the
Mints.
screen. He chews it.
He sure does.
Yeah,
His voice acting, I would say, rivals Tim
it
Curry's.
does. That's most. That's
Yeah.
that's most of his talking. It's
Yeah.
like, what is it? Like that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Righto. At one point he says, "Great googly,"
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we got
he's
Major
so
Mint and
good.
Captain Candy, and I think they
Mhm.
play super well off of each other because you have
Oh
the
yeah, they're so
Major who
fun.
is incredibly unhinged, just like doing crazy shit, and then you have Captain Candy who is kind of the straight man here, just trying to keep
Yeah, yeah.
Major Mint in line, and then is also the friend to Prince Eric, which whoa, we find out could
What?
not see this coming a million years. Prince Eric is the Nutcracker,
Oh my god.
and he sits
Incredible.
there as Eric getting absolutely dunked on by these dudes, just roasting him.
Yeah, especially Major Mint. He's just
Major
like
Mint goes
Major Mint's like,
hard.
fuck that guy. He
He's better
sucks.
off dead. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like Mouse King's better than him.
Yeah, just tearing into him.
Yeah, yeah, destroying him and like Nutcracker's over here like, oh, yikes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Ouch.
My people hate me. So they have
Yeah.
this they have the scene, and they're like, oh, we got to go find the Sugar Plum Princess. And then after a little bit of convincing the captain, it's a
Yeah, well, Major
he
Mint's like
Major
sugar
Mints, yeah.
plum, sugar pie,
I
plum,
don't know
plum,
what
plum,
that
plum,
is. Yes.
princess. Yeah.
Yeah. So they convince
They're like,
him,
okay.
and I don't know if you know you thought this, but there's a scene where Nutcracker is kind of sitting out on the balcony overlooking the moon, and then Barbie comes up
Yes.
to comes up to him. That is like straight out of Shrek. Like
Yes, dude. I thought
like
so
when Shrek and
too.
Donkey are sitting on the cliff with the moon. It's just
Okay.
and it's the same
Yeah.
year. Both of them came out in
Oh,
2001.
I was gonna say which
So
one came out
I
first.
think I think Shrek came out first, but they both would be in development around the same time. So there is no
Right.
way that someone like saw the other movie and was like, "Oh, we got to put that in there." But
I was
yeah,
so
as I was
struck by
watching,
that
like,
too.
yeah, it's just like Shrek.
Like, are we watching
Because
Shrek right
yeah,
now?
because they're sitting there and they're having this heartfelt talk, and it's like the exact same setup.
Yeah, yeah. No, I felt like I was having deja vu.
Yeah,
It was weird.
same
Mhm.
year too. It is bizarre.
I know you could put the scenes side by side and they'd look the same.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm glad you picked up on that too.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. I
Any
also
other
might be. Hmm?
any other thoughts from Up in the Treehouse?
Yeah. I think Captain Candy and Major Mint have something going on.
Yeah, okay. Really?
I think they have a whole enemies to lovers arc.
Like they're currently in the enemy's phase, and by the end
Yeah,
of the movie,
yeah.
they yeah, they do have some. Yeah, they're
I
kind of
think they have
antagonistic
some.
towards each other.
Yeah, they got some fun chemistry. They got some banter,
Yeah.
and I might be reading into it a little too much, but I see the progression of their relationship as like they kind of hate each other at first, and then they learn to tolerate and
Yeah.
perhaps love each other even.
I
But
mean,
they do have this
at the
they have
very
this
least,
great
it's a
dance at the
friendship by
end.
the end. At the very
Yeah,
least, it's a
yeah.
friendship by the end.
I could be easily persuaded to it being more than a friendship.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, um, Captain Candy's butt is very distracting.
I was not looking at his
You
ass.
weren't looking?
I wasn't.
Now I feel bad. No, like okay, this sounds
Was
weird,
there a
but I
prominent scene of his booty on on screen? Like was it did I
no,
miss a spot where it was
no,
like 60% of the screen and they just have like a nice ass shot of him?
no. I think it's because he's wearing these like puffy white pants,
He
so
is. Yeah.
the shadows show up more than they do on other characters.
So it just makes him look
Uh,
like he has a dump truck.
butts. Yes, it does. I noticed this as a kid too. It sounds weird, but I did. Uh, I'm not trying to sexualize Captain Candy.
I guess
I just
I
it's
guess
hard not to notice.
I was watching the Major too much. I was watching him just
Oh
go
yeah,
off over
he
here and
does
just have like a
steal the
seizure.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to check back in on that.
Yeah, yeah. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah. Just takes up a lot of screen space.
Yeah.
So when they leave the forest, we're getting to we get to this bridge with the floating rocks,
Oh, the
and
rock bridge.
it hit my brain so hard of like nostalgia of remembering this bridge,
Oh,
of just like
yes,
them
love the
walking
bridge.
across on the bridge. And so you've got Major Mint who goes first, and he's just I'm gonna go ahead, and then he starts like walking across, and he has horrible balance and
Uh-huh.
starts falling backwards as Captain Candy starts going across and knocks him off, nearly kills him.
Oh yeah,
And
he is the definition of an incompetent, like overconfident, incompetent man. Like
yeah,
his incompetence almost gets a man killed.
yeah.
Like
And he's super
it's so
like
bad.
he's so oblivious he doesn't realize that when he was falling back that he hit him. Like what would have broken his fall there? Like how did he not
Yeah.
feel? How did he not feel
Yeah.
Captain Candy behind him?
He
I
like
don't know.
knocks him off the bridge and is just like, whatever.
Yeah. And so then, Nutcracker has to save him. He has to rip his own limb off to
Oh yeah, that was metal.
to to reach down far enough to save Captain Candy's life.
Yeah.
Pretty stressful scene.
Uh-huh.
Almost watched a
Very
man
very
die.
stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary.
My
And
brain
then
thought
Major
that
Mitt kind of
my brain was thinking for a second that it was going to be a thing of like you don't know which rocks are going to float and which ones are not going to float
Oh
when you step
god.
on them. So I
That'd
was
be
kind of
fucked up.
expecting one to like drop or something. That did not happen.
Yikes.
But
Yeah. They all float, and they all kind of look like they'd be fun to hop on
yeah, if it
because they
wasn't
kind
over
of
like a
bounce a
giant
little.
chasm.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Also to add on to my Captain Candy and Major Mint are in love theory.
Okay.
Um, Captain Candy has a little feather in his turban, and it's rainbow. So you know what that means.
I do know what that means. Something's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely his little um gay rainbow symbol.
So also when so
Sorry, I'm gonna
still
die on this hill.
we're still on Captain Candy though.
Oh
So
yes.
Nutcracker saves his life, and he doesn't actually like say thank you.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, like
Damn.
he says some things, but he doesn't actually outright say like thank you, like oh thank you for saving my life, or like oh
Yeah.
thank you for saving me. Like he doesn't say any of that. He kind of just like moves
Like, okay.
along.
Wow. Ungrateful.
Yeah,
Mm,
I don't know.
wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Makes it across
That's
though.
weird.
They all make it
Yeah.
across, and then
Whew.
Captain Candy gets into it with Major Mint there. Major
Oh
Mint
yeah,
still has
somebody
absolutely
calls.
no idea.
Yeah. He's just like victim blaming over here. Just
Yeah.
gaslighting,
Yeah.
gatekeeping girl boss.
Oh my god.
At some point, I think it's Major Mint. I wrote this down because it made me laugh, but I think Major Mint calls Captain Candy a bungling clodhopper.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's a great insult.
Putting that in my hat for later.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that was a good scene. That was a good scene with the bridge.
Yeah,
And then
very memorable.
yeah. So as they're working their way to the ocean to try and get out to this island where the Sugar Plum Princess is, we go back to the Mouse King as he is trying to read up about the Sugar Plum Princess to try and figure out what this is. And all that's in the book is what, like, oh, the princess is very kind or something like that, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
like
I'm surprised that they took the time to even write that down.
I
Like,
know that's
why write
all
anything?
it I know. This is like the worst dictionary ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know that
So
was weird.
yeah, so he has Pimm, who's always following them. Uh, he makes this giant rock monster out of the pillars to go and chase after them. And I'm not quite sure how it's able to catch up so quickly. One, I'm not sure how it's able to catch up so quickly because he's very slow. Uh, Two, how does he get across the bridge?
Oh my god,
And
I didn't think about
three,
that.
how does he get out of the castle without destroying it?
Oh yeah, I kind of was waiting for a scene where he would like bust through the castle wall, but they didn't show that. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he ducked or something.
Yeah. So there's some questions. There's some
Yeah,
questions, but I do
maybe.
remember being kind of scared of it as a kid. Which is like I don't know. It's like
Yeah, it was
kind
kind of
of like
scary.
kind of imposing.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
it's
the
like the
roar
dead
it makes is pretty
the
scary.
I think it's the roar and the deadness in its face is kind of just
Yeah.
like yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it jumped over the chasm like the rock
Maybe
bridge?
I don't. When he's walking, his stride is not big. He is like
Yeah,
waddling.
true.
Does he have jumping capabilities? I don't
I
know.
don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah. Um so
Oh,
Pimm
uh,
and the Rock are chasing after them. Do you have something
yeah,
on that?
I do. Um, The Rock has a name, I found out.
Oh, really?
I found out again through the
Rocky?
subtitles. His name is Rock.
Wait. Really?
I know this because it's spelled out in the subtitles ROK. and the Mouse King calls him Rock.
Oh.
It's like later in the movie where he's like the Nutcracker destroyed Rock, and I thought he was just like originally I thought he was just talking about like wow like wood versus rock like and the wood won, but I realized this time he's saying the rock's name, which is Rock.
Huh. In the Barbie movie wiki,
Okay.
it's listed as Rock Giant, but
Well, in the subtitles
maybe
it's
he was
his
calling
name
him after the
Rock.
species. The species is Rock.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, I'm learning a lot from reading the subtitles.
Yeah. I did not pick up on these names.
You gotta pay more attention.
So we're at the beach now as Pimm and the Rock Giant as Pimm and Rock
Rock.
are coming
Yeah.
after them.
Use his real
And
name.
so while the major and the captain are trying to configure this boat, you have Clara and the Nutcracker going off to this well to get some
Uh-huh.
food, and they pop that thing open, and all the fairies come out, and
Yeah, these are the
they
spring fairies, not
yeah,
the ice fairies.
and so they collect all these apples, and they don't get to keep any of those. Those just get all absolutely destroyed. So it was
Yeah, squashed
lose all
by
those.
rock.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
by
Uh-huh.
rock. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then the spring fairies do a special ballet dance
Yep.
for
There's our
Claire
second
and the Nutcracker.
ballet
Hmm.
dance. Yeah.
Because they were freed from the well, so they're like, "Oh, thank you. I'm gonna dance because that's how I thank people, I guess."
So those are different fairies than the ones that freeze the lake.
Yeah, the ice fairies come again and freeze the lake.
Okay, okay. So
Get the fairies
so
straight.
well, so they just knew and they just came in. They just
Yeah, they
decided to
have
come on
like
over.
homing beacons too. They're like Pimm. Maybe they can echolocate.
So
Um,
yeah, so the rock giant is chasing them down this hill, and I don't know. They're getting the boat ready, and Nutcracker is telling the major and the captain to like go over to this other rock. I was kind of surprised that they didn't just like shove off on the boat and like try and escape. because
yeah.
because if they weren't expecting, I don't know why you would expect the ice fairies to come and save you, but their plan was to go and hide behind a rock that rock could definitely kill them from.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I'm not sure what the plan was there. I feel like they had enough time to like shove that boat off, get it into the water, and kind of escape, because the rock can't swim after them.
Yeah, we find that out later. But yes,
Yeah,
the rock can outswim.
yeah. So I'm not sure about the strat there. That didn't
Maybe
make
it
a
would
lot
have
of
taken
sense.
too much time for them to push the boat into the
Maybe.
water.
I just don't think the alternative was very good either.
No, agreed, for sure.
But they luck out, because then we have the ice fairies who come in and freeze the entirety of the lake,
Hmm. Hmm.
get the job
So,
done.
and if we're
And
going off that ice and snow are sugar, do you
yeah,
think the entire lake is now like hardened sugar?
I guess it could be. You'd be a little bit harder to run on, but than
I think
ice.
ice would be really hard to run on.
Yeah,
Like, okay, and then marzipan
that's
shows
true.
up
Yeah,
out of
marzipan. Where does
nowhere.
marzipan even come from?
From the ice. I don't know. She just appears.
Marzipan has a lot of questions.
I have
Um,
a lot of questions for
yeah.
marzipan.
So they're running on this sugar ice lake something, and Rock is still chasing after them, and he is like on their ass, like right behind him. And yet when they're getting to the point where it's like, okay, we can't get away from him, Nutcracker jumps out of the sleigh and has enough time to go down and shove his sword into the ice and get back. I kind of felt like Rock was closer than that,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think he just did that to look heroic.
it was pretty heroic.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
worked.
So Rock steps on the cracked sugar, and
Yeah, whatever it is.
and he falls through into the water, and he's dead.
Rip.
Didn't
Oh,
last too long.
live fast, die young.
Unfortunately, Pimm didn't die. He's still
Ah,
there,
man.
and he catches a ride with them on the sleigh. So
Oh,
here's
yeah.
where
Yeah.
here's where I have a couple more questions. So we get to the island, and this is the
Yes.
island that the Sugar Plum Princess is supposed to be on. First, they're in this fog for a while, and it's like, we got to turn back. The Major's like, we got to turn back. We don't know where we are. And then Clara's like, no, wait, Marzipan saw something, takes one step in the fog, and then there it is. Like, that's all
How
we had
does
to do.
Marzipan know where to go?
I don't know. So first we have that. Then we get to the island, and long story short, it's a trap. How in the
Yes.
world was that trap set up that quickly? Pimm
Hmm.
was riding on. Did Pimm fly to the island, find the island, fly back? They set it up. Who set it up? How'd they send them out there? How'd they get out there?
Yeah, did the
I
Mouse King send more of his cronies to
how would
set
they
it up?
how would they get there before Claire and the Nutcracker? I don't know how that was
Because
set up. Like,
did he like
because Pimm was on the back of the sleigh. He would have had to fly back, tell the Mouse King, and then
it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. But yeah, there's a castle, but it's a fake castle, and so everybody
Yeah, it's
but
like a cardboard
Clara,
cutout.
everybody but Clara and Marzipan get kidnapped.
Yeah. So my theory is that Marzipan is evil. Because Marzipan led them right into a trap.
They did, yeah. And the other thing, they leave Marzipan on that island straight up.
So, well,
Like, the fairies
good
come
luck.
with their little
Oh yeah, the
swing,
little.
and they take Claire away. Marzipan just stuck out there. The waters
Oh
come back,
man.
and she did not get saved. So
Damn, I did not realize that.
yeah,
Wow.
well, I mean,
I'd be
maybe she
evil too if
was
I were her.
saved off screen, but as far as
Yeah.
we know, she's out there.
Does she return in like the final like ending scene? Is she
I don't
there? I
remember her
don't
being
remember.
there. I'm
Wow,
not
that's
sure.
kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
Oh man, I feel bad for Marzipan now.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Also, I wanted to ride on that ferry swing so bad.
Looked pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. I remember as a kid watching that and being like, "Oh my god, I want fairies to swing me around, take me flying. Yes, please."
Take me to the final showdown with the Mouse King.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Clara has to sneak through the castle to first find everybody who's been captured, who have been put in this
Mhm.
like soundproof, invisible uh cage that is broken
Yeah, it seems
incredibly
like
easily.
but it seems like overkill. Like why make them invisible and soundproof?
I don't know.
Like
Just added um challenge.
and it was so Clara and the Nutcracker would have that connection,
Right.
like she
Yeah, where
knows he's
she like,
there.
yeah, goes up to it, and then it's like, oh wait, there's something there. He's there. Let me
Yeah,
just
she
break this real
knows.
quick, and then it breaks instantly from her throwing
Mhm.
stuff at it.
Just shatters.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we get out to the courtyard for the final climactic battle scene.
Yeah, and the Mouse King is building up this huge pyre,
this
like this
this
huge
bonfire
fire.
to
Yeah,
burn the
to
Nutcracker
roast
and
them.
presumably Major Mint and Captain Candy alive.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
One of them is wood. The others are definitely flesh.
Yeah. Ugh.
And
Yikes.
also, the fairies go and get all these villagers to try and start this like uprising, or like with the kids and stuff. Like they try and start this
Yeah.
uprising, immediately captured. They're immediately all at the courtyard, and nothing
Yeah.
came of that. Like
Yeah.
a Mouse King heard that they were having an uprising. Oh, just go capture him.
Yep. Yep. And this is where you see all the freaky looking NPCs I was talking about.
Yeah.
Also, there aren't that many villagers. Like
No,
Mouse King is like, yeah, round up the
like
like
30 people.
everyone. Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this
So we
kingdom
got
isn't
all of them
that
there.
big.
They get turned into stone. The kids get turned into stone. And then got to take down the Mouse King. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that as we go through this fight, and I was kind of expecting Clara to land the blow that takes out the Mouse King, but it's
Yeah, that's what you'd
technically
think.
the Nutcracker who does it.
Oh.
So yeah,
How does he do it again?
so uh Mouse King does the spell to make him small, and Nutcracker goes
Oh, yes,
no
yes,
with the
yes.
sword and bounces it back. But he was originally super huge, and I don't know how he didn't take them out immediately. Like that
Yeah.
fight of Nutcracker as normal and Mouse King as massive, uh, that lasted way longer than it should have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it was very drawn out. He could
Yeah,
Mouse King could have just destroyed them instantly,
could
but
have just like stepped on. Well, yeah, he could have used his magic, something else, but he
mm-hmm.
could have just
Mm-hmm.
stepped on him. Yeah,
Yeah. But instead, yeah, he tries to turn maybe was it Clara small? And
yeah.
then Nutcracker leaps out and is like has
Say,
his sword
and then it
pointed
reflects.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and it
Very heroic.
hits Mouse King, and so he turns super small, and he falls in. No, he gets taken
Then he
away by
jumps into
Pimm.
the sewer. He
Yeah,
jumps into the sewer, yeah.
but he comes
And
back.
then later, yeah, he comes
Yeah,
back riding on Pimm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he falls in to uh to the sewer, and you think that's it. And so then we have the big dance scene at the end where you
Yep.
have Major Mint and Captain Candy like breakdancing, and
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
it's a real, yeah, because we've got like the more traditional ballet dances
Uh-huh.
like with Clara and Nutcracker. Who's Prince Eric? He's back to Prince Eric now. Yeah,
Whoa!
crazy. I think he looks better as the Nutcracker. I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly, same. It's
I
kind of
I
like a Beauty and the Beast thing.
yeah, I don't know. There's something about Prince Eric that just, I don't know, looks
He just
off.
looks like a generic white guy. I don't know. He's kind of
Yeah,
boring.
yeah. But they have their dance scene, and then Major Mint and Captain Candy go off with their
Yeah,
number.
yeah. I love their dance so much. It's a highlight for sure. And then they end it by like falling over each other.
Yep, they're great. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Mouse King, he's not done. He comes back and forcibly sends Clara home because Clara decided right then and there to leave her old life. And she
Yeah,
was
she
like,
was
yeah,
gonna stay with the Nutcracker.
yeah. I
She's
was
like, I got
surprised.
this hot guy now.
Yeah, like there was not even a second thought there. Like she was like, oh yeah, screw my family. Tommy, ew, like
Well,
disgusting. Like
can you blame her?
I don't know. Like there was zero hesitation. Like she just went
Yeah. I
full
mean,
on.
she was
I
she
get
was
it.
thinking about it through the movie though.
I guess. I don't know. I guess at that point I was, yeah, you expect like, I don't know, like that's your family and your life. But then,
Yeah, but the uncle kind of sucked and her
yeah,
brother sucked too.
yeah. And then she gets forcibly sent back anyways. Mouse
Yeah.
King is able
Because he
to,
steals her locket and
yeah,
like opens it, and then she gets sent back to her own universe,
yep.
and
So
it's
we
very
end,
sad.
yeah, she
She
gets
like fades
lost.
away,
Yeah.
and Nutcracker's like,
I
no,
don't know. And then she wakes up on the couch in the
and she's
morning.
like, is it a dream?
And
Was it a
then, yeah, we
dream?
get the really trippy stuff where it's like, was it a dream? Because
What?
Prince Eric kind of shows up as a different dude, and
What?
then she calls him the prince, and he doesn't even bat an eye.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he
it's
knows.
wild.
He knows.
So, so the implications of this is that Aunt Drosselmeyer was behind it the whole time. Like she set things into motion because she gave Clara the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
And then at the end she brings the prince guy in. She
Yeah.
brings Prince Eric in, and she's like, meet my new friend, look who just showed up,
Yeah.
wink wink.
He's staying for dinner.
Yeah. So like I think she knows a lot more than she's
She knows this
saying.
magical world. She knows
Yeah,
Tim
because she
Curry.
travels. She knows some Curry. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think she's been to that other world, and maybe she said she like hung out with a king or something. Maybe she knew Prince
She,
Eric's dad.
or maybe she hung out with Mouse King.
Hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That'd be a
Hmm.
lot to keep under wraps.
Uh-huh.
That's a very roundabout way to try and matchmake your niece.
Yeah. She's like, I have the perfect guy for you, but he's a nutcracker.
Yeah, but if you
It
go
can
and
still
save,
work.
yeah, but if you could like save his life, maybe he'll turn into a real human. We'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
and then you'll be perfect together.
Yeah, and this owl will tell you what to do. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we got the owl. It's all set up.
Everything is set in motion.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
all
I
connected
love thinking
somehow.
of it as, yeah, the whole thing is just started from her aunt wanting to set her up with a nice boy.
So she goes through this whole thing to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I I believe it.
She's the one that let Clara sleep and keep that dream world
Oh
trance
my
going.
gosh. You're so right. She's like, I
Yeah,
know where she's going.
yeah. I know where
Don't
she is right
interrupt
now.
her.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
busy.
Saving the world.
Yeah, that could be true. She might know a
Yeah,
lot.
it's my
She's
theory.
globetrotting.
Mhm.
So that's the end of the Nutcracker story, and then we go back to Barbie, and
Yep. And Kelly.
Kelly now knows exactly how to dance because she heard that story.
Yep. Yep. That's the power of storytelling.
Yeah, they sat there for an hour, and Barbie recited this entire story, and
Mhm.
now Kelly can dance.
Yep, she can do all the dance steps. It's very impressive. I could
Yeah, it
not
is.
do
Yeah, I don't
what
know
she
how they do
does.
the tiptoe stuff. I think I'd like
Yeah.
break my foot.
Yeah. And then at the end she goes, "I did it." And they hug, and then they hug again.
They hug again. Yeah.
It's like so
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
The second hug is
They
really
hug,
awkward.
and then they kind of like back up a
Where
little
you'd
bit and
think it
look at
would
each
like
other.
fade,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
No,
fade
they
there.
they
They
hug
go in
again.
and like it's the exact same hug. Like,
Yep, yep.
yeah.
Such a great hug. You had to do it twice.
Yeah, that was odd.
Uh-huh. I don't know why that happened,
Yeah,
but
that was weird.
and and that's the end.
Yeah. And that is Barbie and the Nutcracker. A brisk
Yep.
70 minutes. It moves quick.
Mhm. It does.
It moves very quick. So upon rewatching, what are your thoughts on Barbie and the Nutcracker? And
Uh,
we are ranking these movies on a S to F scale. So
yep, on our tier
we have
tier
also
list.
gotta give this movie a ranking. So what did you
Yeah,
think
so
upon rewatch?
I loved it. It was very nostalgic. I remember watching it as a kid with you and Britt and just being entranced by the whole thing. And so it was fun to kind of revisit those like childhood memories. And also I picked up on a lot of stuff that I didn't
Yeah,
uh,
Pimple.
the first few times. Pimple and Rock, very important
Yeah.
details. Um, yeah, I think it was really well done for, the first Barbie movie. It was a good one to start them off. I like the whole fairy tale thing and the whole meta setup.
Yeah. Double
Barbie
meta.
as Clara. Yeah, very fun. The romance was fine. Eh. It was a bit insta lovey. Like she
I
was
mean,
obsessed
yeah,
with the Nutcracker from the
yeah,
beginning.
it was faster than normal. It's always kind of hard with movies. I The older I get, the more I feel like romances always move too fast. But I guess you're
Yeah,
only there for a max of like 2 hours, and I feel like it's gonna feel fast in a lot of cases just
that's
because the
true.
run times are short. It's not like a TV show. But yeah,
Yeah.
it did start immediately in this movie.
Yeah, like, oh God, they're just in love. Okay.
Yeah, she's in love with
Um,
a wooden doll.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mouse King was a highlight.
Yes.
Uh Captain Candy and Major Mint were highlights, especially Major Mint. Um, they were really great characters. Pimm, low point. um, yeah. Should I say what my ranking would be?
Yeah. What do you got? What are you pegging this movie at?
It's hard because it was the first one.
Yeah.
Um, and the animation quality isn't really up to snuff. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a classic, and um, yeah, I'm landing it at a C, but I could be persuaded to rank it a B, just because it's the first one, and the Mouse King and
Yeah.
Major Mint, so that's where I'm sitting.
I'll tell you, I was also sitting on a C
Okay,
because
let's do
yeah,
C then.
I think it's a solid first effort, and there are some areas that I think age better than others, and
Hmm.
some things do not age well at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Curry as the Mouse King is great. His casting is fantastic, and he steals the scenes in a lot of the scenes that he's in. The captain and the major are great. Um, yeah, and the fact that they had professional people on staff for the dance scenes, despite the fact that I'm not a ballet fan, so for me the ballet doesn't do very much for me in that way. But I mean, it's still impressive that they got these people to actually work on it to make it a believable um, ballet dance number.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, but for me personally, I think it's just a solid first showing for
Yeah,
for
agreed.
Barbie. Like
Hmm.
it's not bad. It's solid, but I think that there are movies that come after it that, um, even setting aside its age, I think they just do certain relationships between characters and things like that a little bit better. And once we
Yeah,
start to
yeah.
get into the songs that some of these movies have, I think that they
Oh,
lift it up higher because the ballet just doesn't do a whole
oh
lot for
yeah.
me.
Yeah, ballet doesn't do it for me either.
Yeah, I will say that Kelly Sheridan nailed Barbie in the first
Oh,
run.
we love Kelly Sheridan.
Like sometimes with a long running series, you listen back to kind of like the first movie or the first episode of the TV show, and you're still hearing the voice actors try and figure out the characters. And as you
Yeah.
get to like the end of the season or maybe like two movies in, they've got it. I feel like she got it immediately. Like,
Yeah, she just nailed it. She is Barbie.
yeah. So that was impressive going back and seeing in that first movie, not knowing like what Barbie should sound like. She got it
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
first
she
run.
defined Barbie for a generation.
Yeah. Until they changed it.
Yeah, yeah. I like
New
all the
Barbie's good
Barbie
too.
voice actors. Yeah, they're all good. They're all different. I gotta say Kelly Sheridan is my favorite Barbie voice actor, just because. I mean, for one, she's the one I grew up with, and I just think she just has this really special quality to her.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I also land on a C with the
Cool.
Nutcracker.
How about our villain ranking?
I mean, you got.
I think the Mouse King
I
is S
I think
tier.
you got to put him up top. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Tim
Anything
Curry
less
steals it.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be. Yeah,
He's
S
he's
tier for sure.
he's so good, and the fact that he wants to kill Pimple is another plus. And
Very
yeah, just
relatable.
anytime he's on screen, it's Tim Curry just carries that, and how he's able
Mhm.
to just
Mhm.
put so much like inflection on all these words, just make it sound way sinister and way more sinister. I think
Yes.
Tim Curry just
Yes.
absolutely nails it.
Agreed. And I know we want to do an animal sidekick ranking,
Uh,
and usually the animal sidekick would be Barbie's sidekick.
it doesn't really
But
have one here.
yeah, the closest would be Marzipan, and it's
Well,
kind of
Pimple's
a
F.
boring. Yeah, I know. I gave Pim an F too. So yeah, we can
I guess
rank the
there's
villain sidekick.
yeah,
He is
on
F.
two very opposite ends.
Yeah,
We've got an S
interesting.
and an F.
They balance each other out.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't an animal sidekick for for Barbie in this one.
Yeah, yeah. Rare.
Do you want to hear about some goofs? Some Barbie and the
Yes,
Nutcracker goofs? Okay.
of
So
course.
this comes from the Barbie movies wiki. So if you're
Okay.
curious, you can see some of these for yourself. So first one, when Clara kicks her shoe at the Mouse King's head while she hangs from the garland. So Clara kicks her shoe at the Mouse King's head while she hangs from the garland. When she falls down and lands on a pillow, the shoe is back on her foot with no sign of her having retrieved
What?
it.
Also, is it a pillow that she falls on, not a slab of meat?
I'm oh, I guess it does lands on a pillow. That is not a pillow, that's meat.
That's no pillow.
That is meat. It is a
I never
wet
seen a pillow
pillow.
like that.
All right.
Soggy
When the Mouse
pillow.
King's army is chasing Clara the Nutcracker and the two candy children in the forest, they would have seen them going up the rope ladder. Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I agree with that. Several times when the mouse turns his scepter into another weapon, you can hear a mountain lion growling sound.
Yes, I noticed that. Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
why
Is
I
that a
didn't make a note
goof?
about it.
It's just
I don't
weird.
think it's a goof.
It's just like odd.
It was a choice
It's a
that the
choice that
sound
was made.
design made. Yeah. I like it.
Another one, when the Mouse King turns his scepter into a sword, it is gold. But when he leans towards the soldiers, it is all silver. In the following shot, it is gold again.
Whoa.
Oops. And then the last one, the one that you picked up on, in the crowd scenes, one group of peasants is used repeatedly.
Yeah, yeah, that's a classic Barbie movie tactic. Just reuse the character models.
So those are the goofs. Can go through a little bit of trivia here.
Okay.
To promote the film, Mattel held a sweepstakes on Barbie.com. The winner went to the premiere of Barbie and the Nutcracker in Los Angeles.
Oh my god, I wish that was me.
McDonald's also had Happy Meals with Barbie and Ken in them for Barbie
Oh,
and the Nutcracker, apparently.
that's cool. I wonder if we got those.
One animator's entire job was dedicated to getting the swish of Barbie's hair just right in the animated ballet.
Oh, you
That's
tried
all
so
that's
hard.
all that animator did. That was a whole job.
Well, you did great for the time.
In 2021, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the movie, a new collection of Barbie and the Nutcracker dolls were released, as well as an animated series named Barbie and the Nutcracker.
What? How did I not know about this?
There was also a YouTube live streaming showing on repeat the scenes where Kelly successfully dances with Barbie and the scene where Claire and Eric dance, and then Claire is sent home by the Mouse King. The live stream ran for 1,345 hours, 9 minutes,
What?
and 2 seconds.
What? Wow. Again, how did I not know about this?
I don't know. This was recent. This was 2021. Also, animated series named Barbie and the Nutcracker. We gotta
Yeah,
look into
where's
this.
that? Definitely gotta watch that.
Huh. And then last, over 3.5 million DVDs and videos were sold upon release.
Oh,
Sold pretty well.
one of those was ours.
One of those was ours, yes.
Well, we got the VHS, and then later I got the DVD. So two.
Yeah,
Two purchases.
yeah, we did have to double dip.
Yeah. That's okay. It's worth it. I don't really
And
have a
that is,
VCR anymore.
yeah, I do not either. So that's Barbie and the Nutcracker, and that is
Mhm.
the inaugural episode of Barbie, the Princess and the Podcast.
Wow. Congrats to us.
We did it.
We've
That
done
was a
it.
fun one going back.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to do more.
So I know I said at the start of this episode that we're going in chronological order, but the next episode is going to be a little bit different because we have a big Barbie property that is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
That being the new live action Barbie movie.
So pumped.
So instead of Barbie Rapunzel on next month's episode, we're going to be taking a quick break on episode number 2 and covering the new live action Barbie movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
And
Gotta
then
catch
from
it while
there,
it's fresh.
we do, yeah. So that'll be within a month of when that comes out, and then we'll hop right back in to the regular Barbie movies in the third episode with Barbie and Rapunzel. Barbie as Rapunzel.
Yep.
As
I
Rapunzel?
think, yeah, because she is Rapunzel.
She is Rapunzel. Yeah. I'm looking forward
Yes.
to that one a lot because I feel like I'm going to remember more of that one. That was the one that we watched more of the two.
Yeah, we definitely did. I think it's because we weren't that into ballet as kids, so
Yeah.
we were definitely more into Rapunzel.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot to talk about in that one.
Yep. There is. And we'll get the first of Barbie's animal sidekicks.
Yeah, she has a few in this one.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, 2, I think.
Going to be a running theme of all these movies.
Yep.
So that's going to be it. Do we want to run through where you can find this show? It's relatively new. So first off,
Yes.
on the audio front, the audio version of this podcast will be available on all the podcast streaming services, whether you're using Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast streaming services. The audio version of the podcast will be there for you to watch. Please subscribe to the podcast page so that you'll be notified when the new episode drops. And we also have a video version of the podcast that is up on our YouTube page at The Princess and the Podcast. So you can check that out there for the video version. So whether you want the video version or the audio version, we got both of those for you.
Got you covered.
Yep.
Yeah, please give us good ratings. Appreciate it.
Please subscribe on YouTube and follow the podcast on whatever podcast streaming service that you use.
Yeah. And if you want to follow our podcast on social media, we're at The Princess and the Podcast on Instagram and at Barbie Podcast on Twitter. And then our email is theprincessandthepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to follow me, Briana, I am at Briana Valine on Instagram and Twitter. And Valine, Briana is Briana, Valine, Vallene.
And I am just on Twitter at the moment at Kevin Valine, the same spelling on the last name. So you can follow me on there. So please give us a follow and subscribe to the YouTube or on your podcast streaming service to catch each episode every month on the first Monday of the month.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought of a fun way we could sign off.
Let's do it.
Kevin. In later in some of the later movies, and I think this was started on Barbie's vlog.
Oh, yeah, she does do vlogs.
She would go like pace as her sign off.
Oh my.
And for the longest time, I just thought she was saying peace weird.
Yeah. Is she not just putting some twang on peace?
Nope. It stands for something.
Pace, like PACE?
Yeah, PACE stands for positive attitude changes everything.
Oh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who realized that? Who was watching her vlogs and knew that that's what that stood for?
I I don't know. It
I
took me
think,
a really long time to figure
yeah,
that out.
I think that the natural thought would be, oh yeah, she's just saying peace, but like kind of like
Peace.
funky, like peace.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. So I guess we're just gonna be copying Barbie's vlogs here,
yeah.
but
Unless you have a better idea.
I think it's pretty good. And now people listening to this will actually know what that means, both
Yeah, yeah.
for this show and when they're watching Barbie's vlogs.
Mhm. Mhm.
They'll know what she's talking about.
Hitting you with all that knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I guess until next month with the new live action Barbie movie.
Peace.